Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I just want to say thank you to everyone for being so patient with me for everything that I've just kind of been going through over these last couple of weeks, between with me and my twin, with me losing a friend. My life has just been kind of chaotic, and I just wanted to thank you guys so much for being so patient. And still saying subscribed and leaving me nice comments, donations, hitting me up for private readings, things like that. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. It's really kind of been able to put me in a position to do this full time. Enough where I can kind of get by and still pay my bills and everything like that. Um, I definitely want to make this more of a full time gig, and not have to be searching for other jobs and other opportunities out there. So this has been such a blessing, and thank you guys all so much for having that there. If you haven't checked out my update video, don't feel like it's absolutely necessary. It just kind of explains where I'm at in my own twin journey. So if you want to check it out, feel free. If not, don't worry about it. It's not absolutely necessary to watch these readings. All right. Today's video is going to be in regards to the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine Collective. Just kind of a shared energy. I'm going to be real with you guys. I expect this to be a pretty heavy reading. So we will see what comes out, but just kind of a heads up in advance. So, all right. I did pre-shuffle, did pre-pray. I feel like you guys probably know that by now if you are a regular subscriber to my channel. If not, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Much appreciated. Let's see. What am I even doing? All right. I feel like I'm just supposed to cut it here. I don't know why. All right, ending energy here for both of them is going to be the Sun. The Sun is the most positive card in the deck, so that's great. I'm totally down with that. The Sun talks a lot about illumination, returning to a childlike innocence, seeing things in a clearer picture, definitely things of that nature. So we'll see kind of what's being illuminated here in the lives for both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. So Divine Masculine is on my left, so your guys is right. And this is headspace, heart space, likely outcome. Headspace, heart space, likely outcome for the Divine Feminine. Combined shared energies here in the middle, or likely outcomes between the two. Interesting. Very interesting. What the hell is going on? All right. So let's just read this because this is going to be an interesting read. I can already tell you that right now. So in the headspace for the Divine Masculine, we have the representation of the devil. The devil talks about codependent relationships, addictions, things that don't serve the highest interest for the Divine Masculine. So this could be karmic partners. This could be codependent situations, whether that's outside of like a karmic partner, them being too reliant on something and not themselves. This can be chemical addictions, or just even the feeling or need to please everybody and staying in old karmic cycles. It's really talking about being bonded or chained to a situation that they know, they're aware of, and they need to let it go. In the heart space here, we have the Lovers, which is interesting because this to me is a divinely guided relationship. You have the representation here very much in this deck in particular with the Lovers, with the Divine Feminine on what would be your guys' left, and the Divine Masculine being on the right, with God or the universe overseeing it and guiding this sort of relationship here. So this to me really comes across as maybe them viewing the relationship with the Divine Feminine in kind of a higher light, understanding that it's a spiritual connection, and that's why the connection runs so deep between the two of them. That despite all the flaws, all the differences, complications, and everything like that, the heart space connection isn't going to stop. That this person's still going to be on their mind 24/7. It's never going to go away because it's divinely guided, it's divinely protected. This is what runs the entire universe. It's really kind of understanding that you're a cog in the machine. You are not the machine. This can really be the awakening to understanding that the twin flame journey is meant to be tough, meant to be difficult, in order for the lovers connection to happen. If everything was easy peasy, lemon squeezy, it wouldn't mean that much, and it wouldn't be that fulfilling of a relationship. This is about self growth and progression in that area. Jesus Christ, this incense is going insane over here. Alright, so before I set off the fire detector, I had to put that out. Cool. Maybe. Now I got shit all over my fingers. Alright, whatever. Okay. So, in the likely outcome here, we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups, to me here, in conjunction with everything, really talks about maybe them having desires to go back to the lover's connection. It's a romanticized idea of what a lover's union really is. Because over here in the lovers, you see two people standing completely naked in their truth and their authenticity before God. Over here, you have it more romanticized. It's a caring embrace, two lovers sipping wine together, enjoying the company of one another. So to me, this really is them probably questioning or hoping to maybe rekindle things in this area, but they still have these chains here that they have to deal with in the devil. So, in the Divine Feminine's headspace, we have the Five of Pentacles. This talks about feeling left out in the cold. In my update video, I kind of discussed that, feeling, that maybe this isn't healthy, the tired of the separations, tired of the lack of communication and conversation, tired of the bullshit. If I can get totally real, just tired of the bullshit that a lot of this is. There's healthy ways to have a relationship and even caring feelings while still, being over here in some other sort of committed situation. It's drawing a healthy boundary and saying, hey, I still respect you. I can still treat you like a individual. I don't need to do all these harsh sort of things, cutting you off for long periods of time with no conversation, just to show back up at your door, so to speak, with little to no explanation. That's kind of the energy that I'm feeling off this Five of Pentacles. The Star card here in the heart space. This is a great thing because the Star card really represents hope. It represents them making wishes and going after new adventures, or still having hope towards their twin flame journey, and realizing that while they are maybe feeling left out in the cold now, that this is a divinely guided protection or divinely guided relationship that is going to grow, whether that means this month, next month, 6 years from now, whatever. It's still kind of having hope, or hope that the universe will deliver something, if not for the divine masculine, providing a soulmate, providing a worthwhile connection here, because this is tied to the heart, so obviously it's kind of that emotional state. The Strength card, likely action for the Divine Feminine, really talks about them finding the strength and the courage and the control to move forward with this situation, kind of despite all odds of this Five of Pentacles over here. This really talks about them proceeding down this path, of unknowns and everything like that, and saying, all right, God, take the wheel here. I'm gonna just have hope, despite me feeling like I'm left out in the cold, in order to see the progression occur here. Um, the center card here, the likely outcomes between the two, is the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is really about bringing balance between finances, time, energy, emotions spent. Um, to me, this could really be the divine masculine realizing that they need to step up, no more bullshit, and match the amount of time that they're spending in other situations, match the amount of money they're willing to invest, match the amount of quality time, energy, things like this. And coming from the divine feminine side, obviously with the Five of Pentacles, it's kind of coming to this state of realizing, I've been giving way too much and receiving way too little. Fuck this shit. Like I have hope that maybe this person can grow and they're not, I haven't just been wasting my time with them. But I'm gonna match the energy that I'm getting out. So if I'm being treated like a booty call, or if I'm being treated, like a whatever the situation, I'm just gonna match that energy. If this is nothing more than just sex and carelessness, then I'm gonna just treat it as sex and carelessness as well, and I'm not gonna get too lost into whatever this is. Oh, you can't text me back once every, day or 6 days or what? Cool, I'm not gonna hit you back with a text message, phone call, email, etc. For just as long. Like I don't care when you send me a message. I'm not on your time. I'm not, it's that kind of energy is really what I'm picking up. And it's talking about needing to bring the balance between that to establish something healthy. So if I have divine masculines watching, this really talks about you needing to increase your amount of energy, effort, time, things like that spent with the divine feminine, or you're going to see the divine feminine really cut, the bullshit and say, oh, well, you can't get back to me in 2 months or what, XYZ amount of time. Don't be surprised when that next phone call, text message from you comes, because it inevitably comes every fucking time, right? And don't be surprised if you don't get something back. Don't be surprised if you get left on red, so to speak. So well, ending energy here is the Three of Wands. This really talks about, sorry. This really talks about, the ships being ready to come in. It talks about successful adventures. It really talks about movement forward in the entire situation. So there's some sort of progression here, whereas maybe we've felt like things have been pretty stagnant and not really moving, and we haven't seen a lot of results or anything like that. That with the Three of Wands, we should start to see, the ships coming in, the successful adventures or movement, anyways, towards whatever is being portrayed here. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to just pause this here, and I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I have drank like 4 cups of tea here, and yeah, I have to go someplace. So, alright. The Eight of Pentacles here with the Devil is going to be talking about really seeing, this devil relationship, or this how do I phrase this? This codependency, this negative influence, or whatever, however you want to phrase this, as something that they've been working towards. They've been feeding into it. They've been playing into it, and it's going to continue to grow for as long as they continue to basically play with the devil. You know, the more they feed into the codependent situation or the addiction, the more the addiction is going to continue to grow. And it's only going to make their situation harder and more complicated the longer this continues to go. So this is, to me, almost kind of like a warning card here for the divine masculine in their headspace, or maybe it's a realization that the more they feed this codependency, addiction, whatever, the more it continues to grow. And the more they work with it, the more it's growing and becoming more and more of an issue in their own life. Underneath the lover's connection here, in the heart space, we have the representation of the divine feminine as the Queen of Pentacles. So this is really them seeing the divine feminine as a nurture, a grounded, kind of stable connection, something that maybe they've been able to rely on and fall back to in the past. You know, as things get a little bit crazy and chaotic in their life, they've been able to fall back to this person. You know, this could be them seeing the divine feminine as taking on a lot of growth in different areas, whether that's financial or just personal growth. That's definitely still represented in the Pentacles. Underneath the Two of Cups here, we have the Six of Swords. So this really talks about them realizing that if they want to have this romanticized relationship that is the twin flame connection, right? I mean, like, when two twins come together, it's just fire and chemistry, and it's good stuff while it's happening. This is the Six of Swords represents here them needing to take the risk to leave behind the past, you know, and really it's needing to leave behind this codependency, this addiction, this, you know, whatever. I think a lot of divine masculines have tricked themselves into not understanding what the devil really is. And part of this is that they might view their relationship as being codependent, or this other person as being codependent, but they don't realize how codependent they themselves are actually being in their own relationship by feeding into it. That's kind of what we're seeing here between the Eight of Pentacles and the Devil. They're feeding into this codependency. They're making their own situation codependent. They're becoming reliant on this other person. They are reliant on this other person at this point, is really what I'm saying. And this is the Six of Swords is all about, you know, packing your shit up and saying, you know, enough is enough of this bullshit. I know it's not what I want. I know for a fact I'm not supposed to be doing this. This isn't breeding me healthy connections or anything like that. I'm losing sleep. I'm going through turmoil. I'm going through troubles due to it. And it's stopping me from being where I want to be in this romanticized relationship here. So underneath the divine feminine's headspace, we have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands with the Five of Pentacles really talks a lot about, you know, feeling left out in the cold and then kind of ending the burden over it, you know, and just saying, you know, this has just been too fucking much. I'm setting down all these sticks, all the baggage that this has been. I'm tired of feeling like I've been left out in the cold. I'm tired of feeling, you know, all this shit. This is just too much burden for me to continue to carry. And really letting it go. You know, setting it down and ending this burden here. You know, walking away from it. With the Star card and the Three of Cups, this is talking about having hope. Or the Divine Feminine is having hope, or to have hope, or to make wishes, or wishes being fulfilled. In regards to, and maybe this is just me projecting my own personal twin flame journey, but I feel like I'm going to get a lot of the collective here with me on the ending of this third party situation. This is them really hoping that something basically occurs or happens that causes a third party situation to finally be completed. On the flip side here, this could also be having hope and wishes for a third party on the divine feminine side to join in. So this would be the divine feminine possibly picking up a karmic, picking up a soulmate, something like that. Even knowing that they're in a twin flame connection and saying, hey, I'm tired of being alone. I'm tired of being single. If my twin's going to be in a relationship elsewhere, I no longer want to carry the torch. If they choose to pick it up and go through all the, self growth and learning that I had to go through because of this journey, then so be it. But they can do it on their own, like I had to. Whichever, however that makes sense. Maybe both. Both, right? Okay. So the strength card with the Ace of Wands. So, this is talking about having the courage, the strength, the determination, the willpower to move forward into a passionate new beginning. Really seeking out some sort of fiery new connection. I really get that this is kind of filled with a bit of, like, earthly desires like lust and whatever, but it's really still that same passion. They want that fiery connection and everything like that. They want everything that basically was going on over here with this person, and maybe still with that person, but also maybe with somebody else. It's kind of like just saying, at this point, I'm just hungry, and whether or not I get what I ordered off the menu, I'd rather get something off the menu that's still going to be just as fulfilling as this. I'm not tied to the name. I'm not tied to the looks. Provide me something equal to what this was without all the bullshit. And this is talking about the movement forward from that. And this all coming in, all this, coming into fruition because we have the Three of Wands here. So we're going to start to see movement on this, whether or not the divine masculine or the divine feminine holds on or doesn't. We're going to see some sort of movement come in because of this. So underneath the Six of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Swords. So I guess this isn't a big shock here. There's been some cheating, lying, deceptions, things like that going on. And there needs to be some balance and accountability, obviously, that comes from this. There needs to be, accountability, responsibility, ownership of both parties on how they played into this. If the divine masculine's been cheating on, whomever to be with the divine feminine, the divine feminine's still playing their part in helping this cheating basically occur. It's owning that and bringing the balance to that sort of situation. Who's truly at fault to blame? Well, both people are, obviously. But with that being said, is it the divine feminine's, duty to honor the divine masculine's connection? To a certain degree, yes. But it's way more on the divine masculine's responsibility to own his own relationship. So, if you're supposed to leave, leave. Clearly, you have the progression of the 6 right here to the 7. So, leave the situation so you're not cheating anymore, not going back and forth. No more of that. Don't do that. It's not bringing balance. It's causing, this over here. Your actions over here, with the devil and this continuing to grow and this codependency is causing this sort of reaction here from the divine feminine, this feeling left out in the cold, this them wanting to leave the relationship. And I think you need to be real with yourself, divine masculines. Are you going to be happy when that occurs? Because I think most of you might feel like you would be up until it does happen, and then you're probably going to be kicking yourself over it, going like, shit, I fucked this up, and I knew I was fucking it up the entire time. So, it's kind of that realization, because once it happens, once they leave, once they start dating somebody else, you can't really come back into the picture and be like, well, I've changed now, I'm ready for this, because honestly, if it's anything like my journey's been, the next person's not gonna have to compete that hard. To be totally real, divine masculines, they're not gonna have to compete that hard because it's been pretty unfulfilling up until this point. Yes, there's been some great moments for sure, but consistency. Does the good outweigh the bad? I don't know. I don't know anymore. So that's what we're seeing here for this row. Moving on to some clarifiers here. All right, so we got the Eight of Pentacles showing up here. Um, the Eight of Pentacles is the overall ending energy. This is talking about, continued growth. And really what you're putting your time, energy, and effort into is what's going to continue to cause the growth. So if you're spending all your time in your codependent situation, which is what we're seeing over here again, I'm just kind of skipping ahead, it is really what you're going to see continue to grow. What it is what it is. I mean, that totally makes sense. So, underneath the devil with the Eight of Pentacles, we have the representation again of the devil, with the Nine of Wands and Temperance. So this really talks a lot about seeing the situation for what it is. It's not just codependency. It's not just addictions. It's not just, you know, unfulfilling situations that aren't serving your highest purpose. It truly is the devil. It truly is the devil. That this person has been put in your life. This addiction has been put in your life to challenge, to test, to make you grow, but only if you choose to remove the chains. You have to be willing to walk away from the chains. The Nine of Wands next to it, this talks about some defensiveness that you're going to have to take, or that you're feeling towards this. Either way. Probably both, honestly, with the energies that I'm feeling here. This to me screams both, that you're feeling defensive about needing to let go of this completely, because obviously it's the devil, so you can't be like, well, I just don't want to date this person, but I still want to be their friend or whatever. You can't. You can't. Because every time you try to leave the devil in your life, the devil comes right back in, and all of a sudden you find yourself right in the same spot every time. You gotta cut it completely. That's the only way to walk away from the chains, because the chains are loosely tied to you anyway. So it's about really stepping away and seeing the picture completely for what it is, and then needing to take a defensive stance. So if this is a karmic situation, this talks about, blocking somebody, not talking to them, not feeling the need to explain your situation any further. You've explained it. You've done everything. You're in the same situation again and again and again and again and again. It's almost pointless for me to even do these readings for the divine masculine. I could probably just honestly cut this half over here and keep going, because your shit's the same every fucking week, to be real. Devil energies, tower, bad shit, get it together. For real. For real. So we have Temperance here. Temperance talks about taking your intuition, your guidance, everything that you've been seeing, feeling, the signs, the synchronicities, everything that's guiding you and pushing you to try and go down a direction. It's talking about no longer allowing that just to be in your head, but to bring it out in the three-dimensional. Let your thoughts, let your heart guide you. and apply it in your life. So if you're thinking about, leaving this devil situation, if you're thinking about this lover's connection, if you're thinking about the Two of Cups, you know, let it guide you and quit going back. Quit getting afraid of all the little bumps and hiccups and everything that you're going to get in a divinely connected journey. Like, dude, it's for your growth, obviously. Like, obviously, look at how much you've grown since you've met this other person, right? Even though you might not have always been with them, it's weird how the duality matches up between the two of you. So accept it. And I get that the ride's a bit crazy. Like, I feel you too on that. But, accept it for what it is, and apply what you're being taught, what you're being shown, what's going on in your life. When you have people step out, angels, guardians that are trying to help you on your journey, follow the advice that's being given and apply it to your life. Don't wait, don't hesitate, just do it. It's talking about bringing the fifth dimension into the third dimension. 1 foot on water, 1 foot on land. Underneath the Queen of Pentacles with the Lovers connection here, we have the Moon, we have the Ten of Wands, and we have the Two of Wands here. So the Moon card really talks about being in a state of darkness in this Lovers connection. While they're seeing, this other person, to me, it almost feels like they can't figure out how to get back, or what the next step in the journey is, or where they're supposed to go, or it's just feeling like complete darkness and lost, and going like, well, how the fuck do I fix this? There's so much burden that I'm carrying, about either my own actions or all the actions that have come. This to me is not even almost burden. It's guilt. It's a lot of guilt and weight to everything, and I feel like it's a lot of their own actions, but like just overall how everything's played out. Obviously it takes two to tango, and everything like that. So we have the Two of Wands next to this here. So this is talking about planning, realizing that the world is really in your hands, and plan this shit out. Divine masculines, I'm going to be real with you here, and just tell you straightforward that if you honestly took the time to plan out how to get your lover's connection back with your twin, you can probably do it. I mean, a lot of them are going to be runners at this point. There's been a lot of energy shifts between 222, 3-1, and 3-3 at this point. There's been a shitload of energy shifts, and it's killed like everybody. But there's enough divine feminines still in the collective that haven't completely walked away yet, that you can really get some guidance from all your divine feminine people out there. Not necessarily your exact twin, but still the divine feminines, and say, hey, this is my situation. I'm going to be real. I fucked this up. I did this, and how do I fix this? If you need to, seek outside help. If you think you got it on your own, more power to you. Eight of Pentacles in conjunction with this is really going to be talking about learning how to grow and make that kind of work. So making your planning work despite all the darkness and feeling lost. Okay? So the Two of Cups with the Six of Swords and the Justice card here. This is interesting. To me, this talks about either some sort of balancing karmatically, due to that you leaving, you having to face some sort of justice in order for you leaving. This could be some sort of karmic justice that you get for having left the divine feminine again. This is going to play out a lot of different ways for a lot of different people, but there's going to be some sort of karmic balance that has to occur here. And if you've been racking up a lot of negative karma, don't be surprised if like your car breaks down, you lose a job, you go through some legal troubles, medical expenses, whatever. There's got to be karmic balance between your actions and what's occurred. don't be surprised if all of a sudden you're obsessed with your twin and you can't get them out of your head and they don't want to talk to you because of all the things that have gone on, you know? Because right here we have the Page of Pentacles with the King of Pentacles here. So to me, this is them trying to offer, make some sort of three-dimensional offer. It could be with time, it could be with work, it could be financial, you know, hey, let's go on a trip, let's, you know, go on a date, let's XYZ together, but it's something grounded three-dimensionally. And the offer is coming from the Divine Masculine here, being represented as the King of Pentacles. So we have some duality happening between the Queen of Pentacles over here in the Lovers connection, and then the King of Pentacles showing up under the Two of Cups here. So it's almost like Divine Masculine, like you're wanting to restart your entire thing again and go through the same exact karmic situation again. You're wanting to leave your situation, leave this devil energy, and try it again here, and make this offer again. It looks like you have, like you feel like maybe you've come into some growth, or you're in a better financial state. Maybe you're feeling more grounded. Maybe you've had some realizations. I don't know. That's kind of the energy I'm picking up off the King of Pentacles. All right. Interesting, I think. All right, ending energy here for the Divine Feminine. I'm not excited about that. It's the Tower. So the Tower talks about sudden changes, chaotic times, shaking up the foundation all the way to the ground. So things can be rebuilt healthily, or healthy. Sorry. It can be a lot of chaos. It's quick, sudden changes. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Typically, it's just associated with it being kind of negative or bad because of how quick and sudden the changes are. But if it's a bunch of positive, sudden changes, you know, then so be it. You know, that's good. It can just be a lot to take on as everything, you know, gets stripped down to the ground to be rebuilt again. Underneath the Five of Pentacles here with the Ten of Wands, we have the King of Cups. So this is going to be the representation of the Divine Masculine and the, you know, like emotional state and everything like that. Them feeling like they're left out in the cold, you know, the Divine Feminine feeling like they're left out in the cold over here and kind of ending this burden. And them really kind of maybe feeling sad in regards to who this person is when they do get to see the emotional state and, you know, that loving, caring, compassionate side to the Divine Masculine. This talks about, you know, in the headspace, this desire for, you know, this new beginning to basically occur, this new passionate beginning to kind of occur here, but it's also met with more heartbreak. So it's, to me, it's almost like the Divine Feminine wants the Divine Masculine to come forward in their emotional state and offer this, you know, passionate new beginning, maybe just to turn it down. Or maybe it's not even to turn it down, but it's to, you know, more fear that it just lead to more heartbreak because of, you know, the Five of Pentacles with the Ten of Wands. It's talking about, you know, if they really move forward with a new beginning or a new offer, maybe some distrust towards it just being more of the same shit, you know, more heartbreak, and if they really even want that. In the heart space here, we have Judgment, we have Four of Wands, and then the Chariot. So this really talks about, in conjunction with the Star and the Three of Cups, this talks about, you know, the divine feminine really wishing for some sort of judgment towards the third party situation. You know, wanting the universe to really step in and separate the two of them. Really hoping that there's some sort of awakening that separates the you know, this third party situation. Something that basically the universe does to occur, to create some sort of separation or some sort of ending, so that they can have this sudden shift in the tower to basically get their twin flame connection, you know, their happy marriage, harmonious celebration, you know, the coming together in union. And they're, with the Chariot here, this really talks about them feeling like if this were to occur, or that they're hoping for this to occur, because this would allow them to regain control of their life. It'd really allow them to be in the driver's seat, to guide things in the direction that they're wanting. I think that the divine masculine has been in the driver's role for so long in dictating how the relationship goes and plays out, that I think they're kind of wanting their turn to drive this relationship. And they're saying, hey, you know, I've had to be the torch carrier for XYZ amount of time, you know, and this other person's really dictated the flow and pace of everything. And it hasn't gotten me anywhere. Them driving the car is kind of shitty, to say the least. They're not doing it. Look, you know, universe, can you step in here and end this situation, you know, so that I can co-create and bring balance and harmony, and really drive this relationship into the spiritual place I know it needs to be in. Under the likely outcomes here for the divine feminine, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the King of Wands, and we have the Five of Pentacles. So what we're seeing here is some chaos, hasty actions, you know, troubling, tumultuous times, kind of like that, towards the divine masculine, and maybe this emotional, or I'm sorry, passionate new beginning. This can be very cutting, and it's directed towards the divine masculine, and ultimately somebody getting left out in the cold. With everything else that we're kind of seeing here, to me, this is the divine masculine getting left out in the cold. You know, them trying to come back, you know, and offer this new passionate beginning, or, you know, thing, and it leading to heartbreak, and then, you know, them getting left out in the cold over here. So it kind of this weird mixed message between, like, you know, can you do something to end this? Because if you can, I might be interested in still going down this connection, and really taking control of my life and taking charge of my life. Yet at the same time, in their head, they're going like, even if that ends, is this even going to be, you know, what I want? Is this just going to be more of the same shit? You know, do I even, should I just leave this person out in the cold? You know, is it time just for me to quit being the torchbearer here? So the combined energy for the two of them here, let's just take a peek and see what comes up. So we have the representation of the Empress, we have the representation of the Page of Cups, and we have the representation of the Eight of Swords. So in combination with the Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Swords, the Empress here is obviously the representation of the Divine Feminine, kind of needing to have an honest and heartfelt conversation here with the Divine Masculine. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying to reach out to your Divine Masculines or anything like that. I'm just saying if the opportunity presents itself, I think there just needs to be an honest conversation that occurs between the two of them, and maybe really the Divine Feminine needs to relay on how stuck they're feeling in this relationship, this situation, everything that's occurred. And what I mean by stuck in this is, them feeling like, hey, am I just going to get more of the same shit, and being honest about that, really, to me, this is actually holding the Divine Masculine accountable for, this Seven of Swords energy and saying, hey, even if I wanted to come back, I'm not sure that I can even let myself come back to you because of all the shit that's occurred. I just don't know that I can do it because, this devil has been so present in your life for so long, it's an honest conversation of, maybe why they can't come back to you, Divine Masculine, to be totally honest. It could be, it doesn't have to be them not coming back to you. It could just be like, hey, this is, why I feel like I can't come back to you either. And then, everybody's going to have to work out that situation on their own whenever this conversation plays out between the two of them. I hope that has been helpful, guys. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Again, if you had readings booked with me, or anything like that, please email me, get me caught back up. I've been flooded, and to go through them all and try and figure out, who's just sending me messages about their personal journey versus InstantGo stuff, all that kind of stuff. If you would just, if I know there's like maybe a handful of you, like 4 or 5 out there that haven't been done, so please feel free just to re-email me, let me know what's going on. And I'd love to get those taken care of for you. So thanks, guys. I'm going to close out this video. Have a good rest of your day.